let's take quarterback off the table real quick. What is the most intriguing aspect of camp for you?
For me, it's the offensive line. I fully went into last year thinking Clemson's offensive line was going to be much improved, and it just wasn't. And I think a lot of that came down to the lack of having a bona fide center, and then injuries really started to take its toll. And they used 6 different starting rotations through the first 9 games, and you're never going to have a lot of success that way. So for me, it's offensive line, and especially that center position, and watching how Will Putnam makes that transition from guard to center, because it's kind of a repeat of last year. We saw Matt Bockhorst try to make that same transition. Although he, to be fair, he did not have all of spring practice the way Putnam had. He got kind of thrown into the fire to start fall camp. But if Clemson's offense is going to get back on track, and we're not talking about quarterback, to me, it starts and stops up front and the interior of that offensive line.
Brian, what you got for us?
Exactly what he said. The offensive line has a lot more experience this year. I mean, you look across the board, we have juniors and seniors in almost every spot. But if you're unfamiliar with your role and you're not gelling, I don't care what you're doing. I mean, you can take it out of football, and you put anything into a team situation, and suddenly, because you really don't know the tendencies of everybody within that position, there's a lot of room for error. In being on the offensive line, you have to be a well-oiled machine. I mean, it throws everything. It throws your passing game. I mean, you can have the best quarterback in the world, but if he's having to run for his life every time he snaps the ball, we have an issue. We have fantastic running backs, but good Lord, I mean, if you're having to depend upon the athleticism and the field vision of a running back every single play, you're really shooting yourself in the foot, and it also lessens your ability to call certain plays because of the lack of playability along your offensive line. So I agree with Jason 100%. Offensive line. I also taking kind of goes back to the quarterback if we can get the ball. But one particular area that I really feel like has been unfairly scrutinized is our wide receiving core. Last year they were shocked if the ball was even close to them. We saw a lot of overthrown balls. Let's take, for instance, Greg McElroy. He said this, and to me, it really summed up the entire season for me. We were playing, I can't remember who we were playing against. It might have been Boston College, and we had Ngata running a seam, and he was wide open. And when I say wide open, I'm talking I could have picked you up and thrown you down the field and probably got you close. And the ball sailed 20 yards over his head, over Ngata's head. And I remember McElroy said, it's hard to explain away why you overthrow a wide open 6'3" wide receiver. And so I feel like our wide receiving core has taken so much of a hit because of the poor quarterback play. So I'm looking forward to seeing them pull together and really kind of show that they are who they are. We had some injuries on the with the wide receivers. So that's my A and B, but definitely our O-line is really going to decide, I believe, a lot for us.